got myself in too deep. It's very easy to do that. And I'm frightened every time I go out because I know these characters are looking for me. Well, I was late with a payment. It was double interest. I was in trouble, and I thought to myself, I'm going to be next. He'd done some serious damage to this guy's legs, and I thought, I'm next. The moneylenders, they're very nice, plausible people. But once you get involved, then the niceness stops. Because they don't have to be nice anymore, they've got you. You're a source of income, your money.
You see a cash getting handing over here. The sequence of events prior to that is that this guy's been standing in this doorway for about 15, 20 minutes, and they won't let him out. He's actually collecting the money from him. Actually empties his pockets at one stage, nothing left.
But is this when the guy ends up in the doorway, the guy just going to have a shot?
Loansharking is the unlicensed lending of money at extortionate rates of interest. It flourishes on the back streets of Britain.
No.
Yet nowadays, the law labels it rather more innocuously as a consumer credit offence and leaves enforcement departments.
Okay.
This Glasgow-based trading standards team is the only one in Britain which mounts surveillance operations against suspected loan sharks. Because of the violence associated with loan sharking, they prefer to keep their identities secret.
A few years ago we were staggered to find that we know of at least 150 operations taking place within Strathclyde, and we're quite confident that that's only the tip of the iceberg.
That's him just coming around the corner. He's now just come up level with the van. Crossing in front of the van now.
We're having a high level of contact with these criminals, and we're actually dealing with it. And they're well aware now within Glasgow and Strathclyde that they are under surveillance and that life is difficult for them.
Now on the west side of the street heading south.
They're not interested in the individual paying back the original sum. That's just the hook to get them in. It's locking as many people into paying them on a weekly basis so that they're committed.
Go ahead.
Can someone come round and get into Turner's car park, over?
Yes, Viv, that's me leaving the vehicle now, over.
They live within the community, they're known within the community, and they have a tremendous power in terms of the threat of violence over people within that community. And there's a fear. It's related very much to those in the worst poverty in the city, the most vulnerable people. And the loan sharks target them as the people who will borrow from them because of their desperation, and they can put the greatest pressure on them to pay.
You're right, man.
We're running here, are you?
Yeah. Again, you always do, anyway.
George and his friends Tommy and Livy have just moved out of the Glasgow hostels into more permanent homes. They know exactly why they were forced to borrow from the loan sharks.
Do you know that kid, man? My Tom Gyro.
You can't go to the genuine moneylenders, right? The finance mob. You can't go to them. To start with, you can't get money off them. Because you're not working. You've not got a permanent address. You can't go and hire a telly. Because you've not got a permanent address. You're staying in a hostel. To the lender. So you go to a moneylender and you say, look, I'm a bit short. I need this. Say, right, what you want? Say, well, going to give me 100. Say, right, I'll give you 100, but it's costing you 150. Say, right, fair enough. Give me it. But you don't realise that 150 is only the first week. It's the weeks after that it counts up. So you end up, that 150 can cost you about £1,000.
That's correct.
At the very least. And you still owe him that 150.
Why did I borrow money? To get him a bingo and get me out of that room.
Drink.
No, no drink.
Truth.
No, I told you not to interfere when I'm talking. If I want a drink, I could have got a drink. If I was interested in drinking, well, I'd have bought a drink. But I wanted bingo money. And I knew if I wanted to bingo, I can get a decent drink. Why borrow money to drink when you know that money's only going to annoy you and make you go for more, and I'd never get out of my debt? I wanted it for bingo. And if I could win at bingo, then I can have a drink if I wanted a drink. I'd done months without drink just to go to the bingo and to try and get myself on my feet.
George, you don't fucking tap £200 odd to go to bingo.
Tommy, you don't know what I'd done. It's nothing to do with what I'd done. What you're talking about, and me, it's alone that's talking about what I'm talking about. So please don't interfere. I didn't interfere when you were talking. Just let me talk the way I want, and then you talk the way you want after it. Just let me do what I'm doing. I know what I tap for. No for drink, Tommy. No at that particular time.
Right.
This is what his boy's asking me. I'm trying to give him the honestest answer I can give him.
Right.
If I wanted drink, I'd have took drink, but I didn't. I wanted bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. I mean, look, that's what I wanted.
Did you?
Bingo mad. And I'm still bingo mad. I'll show you something, sir. Look. Talk about bingo. Here. Here, many rings you want, eh? Many you want, eh? Go up that whack. Huh? Bingo. Magic, man. Magic. One more. Here's more. Even keep him next to me. Sit with him next to me. That keeps me happy. Then I can maybe get a wee drink once I win a big house.
I know what to buy you for Christmas. A bingo for.
A bingo board. A good one, I want a good one. And a pen I know how to go with it.
All the ones, 11, 2 and 6, 26.
When you get a loan, you don't actually count the weeks. You just, week after week, it comes a natural thing to you. You just think of getting your pay and paying it.
80, 80, 46, 46. All the 7. 7, 7, 5. 7?
Oh my God. Ah, well, there must be somebody poorer than us.
I paid it as long as I could, and to such times I could pay the whole lot back. At the bingo.
10, number 10, 2 and 7.
Automatically, I just go to them and I say, can I get this? Easy enough to get.
86.
I'll just put it this way, if I hadn't won at the bingo, no doubt I'd have probably been still paying it back to this day. But fortune shined on me, and I paid back what I would. Paid quite a few grand back to the boys.
31, 21, please. Upstairs.
How much were you paying a week?
77.5 quid. Interest alone. But that wasn't with one. That was with more than one.
How many loans was that?
2.
How much each?
One I owed, the other I owed 100.
And how much, on the 210, how much per week were you paying the money lender?
For 210, 52.50.
Willie Henderson is a small-time loan shark who, until recently, worked Glasgow's Broad for cash, are easily enticed into borrowing from illegal moneylenders.
It's a service, and people appreciate the service of money lending. Other people will turn around and say it's a lot of rubbish, that there shouldn't be any money lending. Some people appreciate it because that's the only way they're going to get money. And the other way is they're going to go out and rob. Some people can't go out and rob anything.
How much interest did they pay on those loans?
25 pence in a pound. If you like, say, if you take
I loan her £10. You pay £12.50 back. But what you do is you try and keep away for a week or something like that for it to build up. And once that builds up, you go and ask the guy for the money. Yes, that's what you've got to do. You've got to do that to build your capital up.
Anyone not finished? Detail. Stand up.
An unlikely victim of the Glasgow Loansharks is Territorial Army Corporal John Trimble. He's been without a job for 11 years and finds it hard going to keep a family of 5 on his meagre budget.
East Springs.
When it comes to birthdays and big bills, the Trimble family get their credit wherever they can.
They want this, they want that. You can't get them. Trying to keep your family going and food. And with the money the social give you, you can't do it. So you've got to end up going to a moneylender. And the price is extortion. It's not really worth it if you think it. I went to a moneylender, I was forced to do it. Couldn't get money for anywhere. There was £50 bill for electricity. So I had to go and borrow £50 off a moneylender. Pay it back at 25 pence and £1 a week.
So, how much did that loan cost you?
All in, until I paid them off, about £1,000.
£1,000?
£1,000.
So over what period did you pay them £1,000?
Just a little over a year. If you miss them 1 week, you pay interest on the interest. So it's one of these things. If you miss them, if you owe them £12.50 and you miss them, you've got an extra £2.50 or something on top of that again. It builds up every week. And the Waynes needed shoes, and you had to go and spend it on the Waynes, other than pay the loan shark, and basically fell into debt. Didn't pay him for about 8 weeks, so by the time I went back to him, it was up to about £300 or something like that, he says he owed him. Well, I stopped paying him. About 8 weeks passed again. This was about the 3rd time. When I went to Territorial Army for a weekend, I came back. Once I got back, the wife, on Sunday night, the wife told me there was 2 guys at the door. One had a blade, and the other one was just on there, threatening my family. After that, I basically, last thing that Sunday night, I went out to see my granny, and asked my granny for only £350.
So what had happened when they held
well,
the knife?
Well, I'll give him a minute. Janice! They came out, they held a knife at the throat, telling the guys about the money lenders.
Aye.
What happened?
Just ask him. He says, you do know where he is. I went, I don't. I've went and left, I've packed him out. And he says, well, it'll be up to you to get him and find him. We're going to get you in your veins if we don't get the money back. And this is when I found out about the money.
And what were they doing with the knife to you?
Just kept on pointing up there and pushed him into the wall, so they did.
Pushed you against the wall?
Just pushed me right against into the wall. I went, you better tell him it's either you and your veins, his life that's going to get it if they don't get their money back.
You don't like doing any violence. Nobody likes getting out any violence. But likes it, if the guy's ripping you off, you've got to do something about it. You can't just let the guy walk away without you, without your money or whatever.
Aren't you worried that he's going to turn around and sort you out?
Well, if he does, but you can always get a couple of mates and get him back. And he give him more than what he gave you.
The trouble you run into, you could get Mars barred. When I'm talking about Mars barred, you could get chibbed. You could get your legs broke, your arms broke. You can have a wee motor accident. There's quite a lot of things you can do.
What do you mean by being Mars barred?
Chibbed. A blade, somebody rattling your jaw. It's a Mars bar.
And that's the kind of violence that you think would be used by the loan sharks?
Aye, they would use it. If they want their money back, they'll use anything to get their money back.
The guy that's giving you the money, He doesn't give you the money. It's one of his sidekicks that gives you the money. Because he doesn't the man to get done.
But how hard are the moneylenders capable of being?
Oh, very fucking hard. They'll stab you as quick as look at you. And
It's somebody else that they found.
aye, but they'll no do it, Livy. But they'll get your kneecaps. They'll kneecap you for a set of maybe 20 quid. They'll kneecap you. Because if you don't pay them, if somebody owes them, say just for talking, say 200 quid, they think they're getting away with it. So they come looking. See the wee arseholes that fucking old 20 and 30. Shoot the bastards.
I keep a knife in here. I keep a knife in here for the reason that they're all cracked. You get crackpots in the hostel, and I keep a blade under my pillow for anybody that tries to kick the door in. And you've got to use it. If you're lying your pit and somebody kicks the door in, a knife.
When it came in my family's life, or giving him 350 quid, aye, if I had a shotgun or something there, I probably would have used it, but it's useless me saying that, but this is one of the things, it's true you're not, you don't want to go out and pose, try and deal with yourself, and you've got to take it.
I sat in the pub and I waited for the person coming in, and he came in and he goes, "What are you looking at?" I says, "You." He goes, "Like, what, to take a walk outside?" I slashed him in the jaw. I get me.
Helen Jane is a single parent with 4 young boys. In her own eyes, she's as much a victim at perfectly legal high street rates of interest as she is of the neighbourhood moneylender. Without the loan sharks, her children would sometimes go hungry.
It depends on a moneylender to live. I borrowed £20 in the first place. I didn't have any food in the house for the rents. Really, I had nobody else to depend on.
Is that everything that you've got just now?
Aye.
Do you know, are you?
No, I've got the poll tax and...
The infamous, yeah.
Yeah, my electricity bill is 1,214. Well, that's the most recent it's one I called.
Is this arrears?
I don't know, really. It's like 10, it tells you that it's getting paid direct, so I don't know.
So they're saying that you owe them over 1,000?
Yep. I just can't.
That's some amount of money. No way, that's not. And you've got your poll tax over and above that as well.
93.54. I tried paying it at first, but then the Social Security are taking £20 electricity and 14 gas and whatever. And then the Provident are hounding me for their money, so I've paid them over £400 or something back.
Because, I mean, you've been paying Provident for a good wee while now, haven't you?
Aye.
I mean, you just need to look at your book to see the amount of payments that you've been making.
Mhm.
I mean, that's long-standing.
Aye.
That's been coming off you every week.
Just the same as a moneylender. But at the end of the day, I've fed my wains that whole week on that money I taxed, right?
I mean, they're charging you the same.
Aye, they're charging. I mean, they say interest, right? You're paying half interest every week till it's paid in full. But what about these? How are these not against the law? I mean, all the interest, they're at 150, you pay 180 back. That's just a cheque, that's not even a loan. If you get a loan of 100, you're paying 180 back, right? So why is moneylenders so, they say, against the law? How isn't the other personal credit company against the law, Gail?
And it's
Why?
the fact that they're coming to your door as well, aren't they?
Aye, they're coming to my
when
door.
to come.
I was skint and saw a tap off a moneylender, £20, and ended up I paid the interest, but ended up I paid £39 back. So I paid it all. I had to pay it yesterday, and I get left. Well, I only get £42, so I was only left with £3 to live on.
So after 6 months or a year, you could have paid back several £100 just for £20.
Aye.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. You feel you go like that, well, all that money could be in my pocket. But at the same time, I mean, I went to him, he didn't come to me. Do you know what I mean? Or I went to somebody and they got me that money because I needed it. But I mean, that's it. It's just the way life goes. You've got to try and live with it. That's it.
Would you go to a moneylender again?
Aye, if my wains needed a dinner, aye. Aye, I would go. Yep, I would go. If my weans needed their dinner, aye, I would go.
Take it for instance, if you're married, how am I going to get money? You've never able to turn to. See, you've had a loan off a social and they've knocked you back for this one, a crisis loan. So how are you going to go? People are going to have to go to a money lending or something like that to get money for to feed the bairn and things like that. And that's a service in itself.
Most of them would be better off borrowing the money from somewhere else, wouldn't they?
No, because if, like, say, where they're going to get it? They're not going to get it off a social security. They're not going to get it out of any shops. They're not going to get it out of vendors, out of town. They're not going to get it off of them.
Well, if I could get a job tomorrow, I'd take it. But the way things are going, they can't get a job, so it's one of these things. You've got to just do it, and that's it. You've got to stay above water all the time. You don't get loans off a social. You can't get credit off Provident. You've either got to go ponds, money sharks, various different places you can go to.
What sort of things have you got in the pawn at the moment?
Well, I've got seven rings in the pawn. My wife's got 3 rings, 2 gold chains, and my daughter's radio cassette in the pawn now. There's nothing else to pawn. Needed money, so to don't get £15 for electrical goods, but £15 feeds the veins for a night.
I think in this pot rings and something like, I think it's 9 rings in this one. Aye. 2 pairs of earrings, 5 gold rings, 2 signet rings and a cameo ring. That's in that one.
And how long have they been in the pawn?
6 months. They're due up in the 16th of December.
Pawn.
No. Not the first, no the last.
What did you need that money for?
Just to live, I suppose. Go and see the tree.
Wherever they finally get credit, the poor pay more. No high street bank would dream of lending money to John to his local pawn shop as much as 5 times more interest than he'd pay for a bank loan.
I'm up to pick up radio cassette and renew server.
29 first, please.
You go to a money lender, you got to go in the open and see money lender open, folks see your business.
Right, thanks.
If you go to a pawn, it's private, nobody knows who you are.
Yes. 80-40, please.
The best thing to put in the pawn now is gold. Anything gold.
Yeah, another chain, a bracelet, another bracelet. Right, that's the right. Okay, lovely, thank you.
Just stay there.
Maybe go to one week and get it out, and to get something else, if you need something, you've got to go and put it back in the pawn.
See your name in there?
You've seen a money lender, you've got to get a money lender in the middle of the street. Right. But nobody sees what you're pawning. So it's your own stuff you're pawning, so I'm not ashamed of that.
Why don't you go to the social fund instead of the money lender?
Oh, I've tried the social fund, but they say I've not got enough money to get a loan. I've not got enough income coming in to get a loan, so they can't give me it. And I wrote to them for a washing machine because I've no washing machine, bedding, clays for myself. Stop it, because I've got psoriasis. But they say I'm not entitled to anything. I'm not entitled to a community care grant. I'm not entitled. Stop it. I'm not entitled to a loan because I can't pay it back, but they can still take £3 off me for gas. How can you win?
Names on it and people, amounts of people owe. Checking it, going over. You see him, he's collecting money here, money getting counted out. And very casual sleight of hand into his pocket, his right hand pocket.
I once heard it described to me as a social service. I look at it from the point of view of the sums of money they take out of a community. I can think of an operation we had about 2 years ago where we took an illegal moneylender out, and this particular moneylender kept excellent books and records, and it was quite clear that they were taking somewhere in the order of £100,000 per annum in interest, and not lending any more than about £3,000 to £5,000. What does that buy in terms of food for children, clothes for their back, shoes? I mean, they're dealing in the poorest communities where maybe 30–40% are in benefit, and they're taking that sum of money literally out of the mouths of young children. I mean, it's appalling. Don't have to, in law, pay loan sharks. The only reason you pay a loan shark is because you're frightened of what they'll do if you don't pay. Some people have been in their hands literally for years.
This is an old money lender who was convicted.
What we have to do is we have to stamp out the worst abuses of illegal money lending. We have to, however, create a climate in the general community where people recognise the despair which these people cause. We've got to provide alternative sources of credit. We've got to deal with the basic issue of this, which is poverty.
I can see your visual from your position there. Can you watch the back of the shopping centre over?
It's difficult to know how you measure evil. If you measure it on the basis of people having serious injury, people being brutalised, young mothers being driven to prostitution to pay the loan sharks because of the amount of money they're taking out. And I don't think you can get much worse than that in the modern society. The evil of the loan sharks is so great that a maximum penalty of 2 years imprisonment doesn't reflect the seriousness of the offence on some occasions. But it's fair to say that the courts within Strathclyde have, in terms of their sentencing policy, have tended to, in almost all occasions, given custodial sentences. And I think that clearly recognises the scale and the damage that they're doing in society.
This sequence shows you just really the contempt that these people have for the people they're actually lending money to. And you'll see Alan Barrett starts dropping some coins from him. This is just what now both him and his son having a right good laugh at this. You see the coins getting chucked on the street for him.
How did you feel when you were watching this?
Just disgusted. And it's bad having to beg for it and literally take it off the street.
Livy sorts the money out for you?
Oh, aye. She's the one.
I'll make sure the bills are paid. Because it was
Everything's all paid. Nobody's paying nothing.
He wouldn't get fed either.
And it's just one of them things. As long as she's there, that's me. I'm content. If she's not there, I'll go bananas.
That's another thing that excites you, you know. I'm only going men for his money.
Fuck money.
Now we're on camera, what happens if the social sees us? We're not supposed to be cohabiting, you're my uncle.
Is that really you having to fiddle the social security?
Aye. Why? I'll come on camera, I don't give a shit now.
She gets her money, and I get my money.
I've got a book, because I'm an alcoholic, you see.
That's how there's two names in that door. See, if I were up and said, right, we're cohabitating, we would get £73 a week.
That's for a couple. I get
For a 2
£56. I get
And
£56.
we need to pay rent and every fucking thing. I don't
get-
pay nothing.
No much I get for being an alcoholic, extra. £16.
£16 she
So
gets.
the DHS has encouraged me to drink beer. They give me an extra £16 for being an alcoholic, so play up, let's all get beer.
Well, it's bad in a way. Yeah, my house, she's no got a house, she stays with Farah. Well, supposed to be. And I get my money on a Friday, she gets her money on a Monday, along with family allowance. You've got to con them somehow. You didn't con them, you wouldn't be able to live. And in Glasgow, it's a common thing now. It's the only way we can live up here.
If you didn't con the social security, what would be the result for your standard of life?
Oh, if we didn't claim separate, we would lose £30 a week on our money. And £30 a week and you've got 5 waitings, it's a lot of money.
If I was to go down to the social and say that she's staying here,
Oh, I'm
that'd be
saying
odds fucked.
you're my uncle.
We wouldn't get any money. What's this?
It's either that or else you go to thieving.
Thieving.
No, I've shoplifted, but touch wood. I've never been caught in my life. Never.
You're talking about fiddling with Social Security. I mean, how common is that?
Quite common.
Oh,
It's allowed. It's in the rules.
I take one day at a time. I really do, and I don't think about tomorrow. Maybe I'll go like that. Well, if they've had like soup or whatever and chips, maybe later on. That's me all night. They watch the telly, they go to bed, and then tomorrow I think about tomorrow when it comes. Just take it one day and live it as it comes. That's it. I don't know. My weans are more important to me than anything. So if they need a dinner, I would go to them again. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. No, it's a saying. I don't know. What is it? What's the other one? Forget the greedy and help the needy. That's another one I've heard. But it never does. They never do help the needy. Never. I mean, sometimes I say, I go and I think, and I say, well, I'm not really that bad off. Let me see this Africa or Ethiopia and the telly, and I go, look at the poor wee babies lying there dying. I mean, I say, look at my veins, at least they're getting something. I mean, we think we're bad, but I suppose there's worse off than us.
The homeless are very badly affected, particularly the ones that end up in the city hostels. That's a real problem because they look to that for a haven, and they find when they get in there they're faced with illegal money lending and the violence that goes with it. They've nowhere to turn after that.
Common is money lending in the hostels.
How common?
Everybody does
fucking-
it in hostels.
Everybody's into it.
No, I mean everybody.
See, if you don't tap a moneylender in a hostel, you must have money.
I was having some social security trouble. They gave me a cheque for very little money. I needed some cash. And I was pointed towards these people. And I asked if it was okay, and that was it.
The management?
It took place in full view of anyone. It was, you know, they wanted to look. It wasn't done discreetly. I suppose it'd been going on for that long that they were blasé about it. No one seemed to object to it. In fact, people were down queuing up first thing in the morning till these guys arrived. To get involved in moneylenders is very easy. If you're short of cash, they make it very easy for you to be able to get your hands on it, and make it very difficult for you to get out of it once you're in the grip.
When John Will began borrowing from them, the loan sharks at Glasgow's Bell Street hostel were already under surveillance. But evidence to nail illegal moneylenders is hard to come by, because those who borrow are too afraid of violent repercussions if they testify. The main target amongst the hostile loan sharks, Paul McCabe, has been under investigation by the Trading Standards team for more than 5 years.
Here we see McCabe outside the post office. These two never seem to collect at the post office themselves. We're also looking through this with binoculars and long-range and close-in shots of this on 35mm film.
The lengthy case against Paul McCabe took a more promising turn last year when John Will agreed to give evidence. To protect him, he was rehoused to a secret address.
I'm living here under an assumed name. The people, that's the caretakers, they know me as another name. They don't know my real name. When the housing people come up to me or they write to me, they write under the assumed name. And, but I don't feel totally secure. But I don't suppose I would anywhere else. I just try and live as best I can until this court case comes up and I can get it behind me. I can't take the chance in being seen. Basically, all I've got to do is what someone's already said to me. Keep my head down. Someone actually said to me, where the police have got you? That's pretty good, because these guys have been looking for me and they can't find me. Some people will say it was a self-inflicted wound, and I would have to agree with them. It was, because I went to them. I was broke, they were available, and that was my only source of getting some cash. And then you realise the extent of the money lending that goes on. It makes you sort of think, God, I wish I hadn't done this. But it's very difficult to get yourself out of it. So, yeah, I feel very strongly. And the fact that I'm going to go to court and testify against these characters, and then I have to leave Glasgow, that makes me angry. Because any time I've left Glasgow in the past, I've left through choice. Not because I've had to for my own safety. But that's what I'm going to have to do.
To gain conclusive evidence against McCabe, John Will agreed to wear a concealed microphone when he made his next repayment sharks.
It was the trading standards that actually asked me if I would wear the wire going into the pubs and speak to the moneylenders and pass over marked money. The police didn't ask me, they would organise it. But the trading standards were the people that asked me to do it because they needed as much evidence as possible to do the maximum amount of damage to these people to put them out of business. Well, after I came out of the Ulster Tavern, I climbed into the back of the police van. They brought, the pub was raided. They brought Mullen out. I physically identified them. And they bundled them in the back of the car and drove them away. Then the trading standards officers got on the radios to tell the rest of the teams to move into the hostel. After the formalities were over, one of the trading standards officers took me back to where I was staying in a safe area. I wasn't under any delusions that I was doing something really important or I was doing something that was exciting. I was doing something that was, in my mind, had to be done. But there was nothing exciting about it. It was frightening because it was the unexpected. I'd never done it before. I didn't know what I was walking into. And that was the one at the sharp end. The police had told me they would be in within seconds if anything went wrong, because obviously if something went wrong, they would hear. But there's those precious few seconds at the start of anything, it's when the damage is done. The cavalry's always too late.
Paul McCabe to collect money for him in the hostel. He was collecting some weeks between £700 and £800 for McCabe and lowered it to a figure of say £500 per week. And McCabe was earning £25,000 a year tax-free. And also one of the witnesses mentioned that the existence of a caravan and a boat, but we weren't able to establish exactly where these were.
When the heat is on in Glasgow, McCabe goes into hiding in this secluded park. Tucked away on a West Kilbride caravan park, McCabe's bolt hole is a substantial mobile home where he's successfully avoided detection by police and trading standards investigators. McCabe dislikes visitors, particularly when they've come to question him about his loansharking among Glasgow's poor. To a man who's had little difficulty in enforcing the repayment of bad debts, aggression appears to come naturally. Paul McCabe has for assault.
Well, if they find me, I know that there will be physical violence. To what extent, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to turn in and say I think they'll kill me. Damage. Because they have to be seen to be doing on fear and the actual threat of violence. So when it comes down to when someone goes against them, they have to be seen to do something. There's violence in the hostel all the time to do with people taking too much to drink. But as far as money is concerned, there was one lad was hit with a bottle in the lift and he got 14 stitches in his face because he was making excuses instead of paying money. Dragged him into the lift and hit him with a bottle. It happens all the time.
With Tommy, in for a game of pool. We're playing a pool. We just finished our game and I clocked him standing at the bar with his cronies. So the next thing I knew, I didn't expect it, you know, and I'm trying to get an explanation out from why I owed the money. And I was wanting to explain what I had done, but I never got a chance to explain what I'd done and what I had paid and all the rest of it. The glissy was no flying. The fella had done what he thought was right. He done what he thought was right. But the thing is, he didn't give me a time to explain actually what was going down.
Was he right?
He didn't give me a chance to
explain. Was he right? I don't know. Just answer that. Was he
no,
right?
I'll tell you that just a minute to explain, but I want to explain.
He shouldn't have fucking hit you, right?
It's not... OK, that's for by the point.
He shouldn't have hit you.
He's done it before, so it makes no difference.
Oh, so it's all right for him just to come
No, but this time he shouldn't have done it. He should have actually stood and listened to what I had to say.
He shouldn't have hit you.
His wee man that I gave the money, he was sitting next to him, just next to you,
right.
in fact.
So he shouldn't... Right, Alime's mate was sitting the two of them.
I've never seen any mate with him. I just seen him sitting.
Cover me. We were sitting...
The same wee fella picked my specs up and says, there's a Lindsay, your Leslie's lying down there, wee man.
No one says to you that if you don't pay, we'll beat you up. What they say is, if you don't pay, you know what will happen. Which, to anyone with half a brain, realises that's violence, and you still have to pay. It's not a case of you get beaten up, you don't owe them the money. You get beaten up and you still owe them the money. And if you don't pay the interest, or if you ask them to let you go for a week because you've got commitments and you can't pay, it doubles, the interest doubles. And then if you don't pay the next time, you're right in trouble.
I didn't know I was a bastard.
You borrowed money on him?
I tapped him. But I didn't know it was a money line. I had spent the money. And then he told me I was to pay this and pay that. I said, I'm giving you fuck all. I said, you get nothing. No. No, he was trying to be wide. Mate, he was just trying to be cheeky. He was drinking the money along with me.
And you had to pay it all back?
So he thought I was a dumpling. So I was to pay 50% in tap. But he gave me.
To pay 50% interest?
Aye. So he kept fucking noising me up. And I ended up going up and down the car park. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks after that. And I just shot him.
So you went out to get a gun to use violence against the moneylender?
Aye. So I just shot him in the arm. But I got a bigger fright than what he did. When I pulled the trigger. I fucking shot myself. And I says, there are 5 if you want to keep going. And then the going, fucking. And the blood. Well, I liked it. So he kept fucking. But he's never come near me.
Were the police called?
No.
Oh, phone police. Because the police are looking for them themselves.
He cannot get near. He can get away with it.
If what I'm doing can stop the money lending in the hostels, then I'll have helped some people. Because they don't get a lot of money as it is. And to have to pay it out to money lenders is making their life miserable. And I know that there's a very high percentage of people in the one particular hostel I was in were involved in borrowing money off of money lenders. And if I can change that, then I'll have done something.
We live hand to mouth. I know if I'm skint, I can come around here, say, right, George, I'm skint, I need something to eat. Bang, you'll get something to eat. He knows, he can come around to us. And that's the way we live. Cheers, my wee pal. But we want to get on. But nobody will help us. Nobody will let us. You must go to a money lender. If it wasn't for him, we'd be in Stookie Street. We'd have nothing. It's the law of the jungle. It's as simple as that. It's just the law of the jungle.
What damage it'll do to me, I don't know. The more I think about it, the more violence that I see, the more things in the newspapers that are associated with moneylenders, people being beaten up for sometimes very small amounts of cash. Well, I'm giving evidence, I'm taking part in this film. The possibilities of me being damaged severely are high, and I understand that. It's not being caught is what I have to try and organise. I wouldn't like to do it again. The criminal fraternity put it about that if you and decent members of society think that you're a decent person, some people are going to think I'm a swine for what I did. Other people are going to applaud me. I don't really care. I just want it to be over. I mean, it's went on, it's dragged on for months and months, and I'm almost at the end of my rope.
15 months after John Will first decided to give evidence against the loan sharks, the case against Paul McCabe was heard this autumn in a Glasgow court. Under the consumer credit laws, £2,000 fine. A prosecution mistake led to him being fined only £400. The court is allowing him to pay this off at £5 a week. John Will has since left Scotland.
Next Monday at 9, Cutting Edge explores the personalities and the revolutionary politics behind the party the Labour Party expelled, the militant tendency.